Hey everyone, welcome to week 5 and the day we will submit our rough draft for our first essay. I've already had a couple questions about this, so I feel like it's useful to pop on here and give you a quick preview. So you're turning in the rough draft of your first project today, and if you need a refresher, that assignment is found in week 2. All right, so if you look here, week 2, lesson 2.2, Introduction to Project 1. In essence, this is what we've been working on the last few weeks. You created the works cited page for it in this previous week. You have been researching the 3 sources you need to find: your occupational handbook, professional organization, and an industry publication. And so basically, what you're going to do now is write the essay. And there's a full list of how to structure the essay here, where you're introducing your chosen career or academic discipline, explaining your interest in the field, etc. And then the body, the most of the writing will be dedicated to reviewing the sources you found. So these are not new sources. These are sources you have found and put in the discussion board in your works cited page last week. Okay. So you're going to be devoting a paragraph each to these 3 sources and summarizing key findings and including specific details for all. Okay. And so that's the rough draft you're submitting this week. So if we go down to preview week 5, so by Wednesday, you have been placed into groups, and I waited until today to do that because sometimes folks drop out, we withdraw from the course, etc. And I wanted to make sure you're not, aligned with no one, right? Each group is about 4 or 5 people. Um, and so what you're going to do by Wednesday is submit your full rough draft in your group. Okay. And so that's in the discussion board. You do it no matter what the instructions say, you do it the exact same way that you would um, a regular discussion board. So you would post your response to the discussion right here, for instance. You can click an attachment, right? So I'm in group 1 or whatever, but it'll default to whatever group you're in. But you do it the same way that you submitted uh, other discussions. So go down to post response in this discussion, click your attachment, and upload your file. Okay. So that will be the first thing you do by Wednesday. And then by Friday, you need to respond to your classmates. Okay. Um, and that should be all of your classmates in your group. So each of you should have between 3 and 4 to read by Friday. So that you um, it's essential that you post early on Wednesday so you have time to respond by Friday. That is the main work of the week. Um, it will take you a lot of time, obviously. If you need a refresher, these 2 lessons are useful on how to craft an introduction and a thesis statement for specifically for this project, and then how to conduct peer review, essentially for here. If you need support, that sort of thing by there. So that project will take you through Friday. So initial post of your rough draft. It should be a complete rough draft too. So aim for 900 words. That's what the final count needs to be. Um, but I will say, if you cannot get a complete draft by Wednesday, something is better than nothing. Having your peers be able to comment. The important thing is Wednesday, right? So making sure you have something submitted by Wednesday. That way you and your peers can respond in your groups by Friday. It's very crucial. So that's the first part of the week, most of the week. And then the only other assignment is on Sunday night, due by Sunday night, and that is a workshop assessment and revision plan. So the structure is, again, turn it in on Wednesday, the rough draft. Your peers and you will comment on each other's by Friday. You'll have a day to reflect upon that. And then on Sunday, you will complete this draft workshop reflection and revision plans. And so basically, you're going to respond to these questions. So, questions about the draft workshop, questions about revision plans. Okay. Now, If for some reason you are not able to, if Friday, let's say if Friday comes around, no, if Saturday comes around and you have not received any feedback from your peers, so you're in a group that for whatever reason is just full of people who didn't submit work and didn't do anything, um, which sucks. Hopefully that will not be the case. But if that is the case, no later than, say, Saturday morning, so pop in there on Saturday to look at your feedback, email me and I will provide you some feedback. That way you can fill out this first draft workshop assessment. Okay. Generally, I don't like to do feedback on the rough drafts because I like the peer element. Your peers have a lot of interesting things to say and to help you along. But if it comes to that, please email me. I will give you some feedback. Just email me directly and I'll pop in there and give you some feedback. Okay? So that's it for the week. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and we'll talk soon.